Hi. Another update. I finally spec'd into the full MF, so I'm using Ascetic, uh, random vendors. I guess this is kind of good actually. I'm in the Quant alone. And because of the Ascetic, I have to have at least one blue item. So in my case, it's my gloves. Originally, I was thinking about using a white weapon, but since I did my two first Chimera runs, both gave me a Scourge, so I was like, well, fuck it, let's go with the Scourge instead. But it's a nice damage. So instead of the white weapon for the Ascetic, I'm just using a random shield. My resistances aren't quite capped without me running Purity of Elements, but that doesn't really matter, right? I still have like 6k effective HP pool, give or take. I don't have 3 Spectres because of the Cold Worm, right? So instead I'm just using some Phantasm. Due to the content I'm doing, like the low level maps, they kill everything just fine. I actually shaped the Gorge D9 so that I don't find Gorges from my Sulfur Vent. These are my only T4 and T5. I actually remove the City Skewer and then Toxic Sugar and Channel. I've done couple Elder kills. I think yeah, I've done 2. So I have on the first kill I got the Nebulous. On the second I got Gloves. I'm probably gonna do this today. So right now I'm at the stage where I'm just like farming these 2 maps, and then whenever Elder spawns or is about to spawn, I make sure that it spawns on red, because I want the Yoke of the Suffering or whatever it's called from the Eradicator. And, you know, obviously jewels from Elder would be really nice. I was pretty lucky after I switched to MF. I found a Soul Taker on the second map after respecking. I actually have 1 combat focus, which I didn't get from the jewel. This I found from I think it's the level 80 Abyssal Chambers, which I have somewhere here. If I ever can get there. Want to buy search function, by the way. Yeah, so I had 6 Abyssal Chambers, and I think I got a total of like 15 tier 11 plus maps out of these. So these are pretty crazy. I have a Lich here, but I'm not sure when I'm gonna do this, because I don't need the gloves, and the shield isn't particularly great for me either. I will probably do it at some point, but right now I don't feel like risking my character, even though I would most likely be able to do it. Like I, for example, completely trashed Red Elder. And yeah, speaking of like lucky items, I also found Call of the Brotherhood, which is really nice if, like, even if I don't call the cold version of the elemental hit, but finding the lightning one is actually really nice, because regardless which is the next one I find, I can start doing it. So if I find the fire one, I can just go with cold and go crit. If I find the cold one, I can just go out of fire with the out of fire and go fire instead. I actually found an unending hunger as well. That's unexpected find, but I'll take it gladly. I've finally been able to craft some items, because now that I'm not really pushing like the Dell of Death anymore, every time my Sulfite goes full, I'm just like, as you can see, I'm just going like lower level depths. So I'm just going through this, hoping to find the spawn that has a chance for Spectre chest. If you watch the previous updates, there I actually had that spawn once. I did it, but it was bugged at the time, and none of the chests spawned, so there was no like reward after it. It was bad. Not that I would have gotten the chest, but you know, maybe. Right now I'm just like going sideways. Going sideways. Usually going through abyssal depths, and then I think it was the fungal forest or whatever thing is called, fungal caverns. These have the bound one slot, which I then use to craft the elder boots, which I talked about in the previous video as well. And I've actually had a couple of few decent crafts. This is nice. This is good for a build that doesn't need the movement speed. So if I like, it doesn't have to be a summoner build, but a build that can use summons. Like if you do like a leap build or something like that, pretty nice. And then I made these, which are really nice. These are really nice. But shortly after I made these, I also hit the Fortify prefix. Too bad they don't have a movement speed roll, but like compare these to like old like whatever the unique boots are. I don't remember the name. Top of my head, up with you know, it's morning. I'm just thinking. I haven't even had my coffee yet. It's right next to me, but I haven't had it yet. And it has an open suffix, so I might slam it. Who knows? Maybe I get the increased duration one. And I forgot to show this last video, but I actually crafted this before the last update. I spent like a couple hundred when I was trying, like, when I was initially making like my first Elder Helm before I got to this. I'm actually using this because it has the lightning resist roll, and well, the rarity is nice too. But normally I'm using this, which is crazy. It's two open suffixes too, so I might actually double slam this at some point if I get a crazy amount of exiles. I'm at like 5 now. And you see, my chaos stack has grown a bit since the last time. That's because now that I'm going MF, I have a base 184 with like 184 rarity with 43 quant. And I get some extra rarity with Rampage as well, which is always basically capped whenever I'm doing a delve. So the delves are actually a lot of loot, and I'm even using 2 dump steps now, because otherwise, like when I'm doing chaos recipe, which I'm doing now, finally on any chaos recipe, the taps get full like immediately, like the dump taps. Whenever I'm picking up like body armors, helms, gloves, etc. And like how I'm doing my recipe, how I've been doing my recipe for like I don't know how long now, is I do like 5 full belts, amulets, and rings, and then I just got like, this is body armors, just click one, and then here, and then it's like full. Then I vendor, get back. It starts from the weapon now, so now I just go backwards. So it's really fast to do. It's 10 chaos every time I like every inventory. So if the next update in 2 days, this stack is gonna be over 500 chaos, unless I'm like investing crazy amount of chaos. Oh, and speaking about the chaos and the resonators, I'm actually using a lot of these as alks now. Mainly because I had a big surplus of like frigid, scorch, and etc. I probably shouldn't do that, because all of these can be used for some really nice mods. Like you can have minus gold on helm, minus fire on helm, which actually might be the thing I do to my merc, not merc, fucking D2, to my animate guardian, because right now my animate guardian just has a leer cast, right? Which is like what, 10% or something like that? What is it? Leer cast is 50% increased damage. Okay, you can have up to 10, I think. Give me a second. Scorch Fossil. can have up to -9% fire resist on helms. You can have this with lightning too. I need to check what kind of things other than this I would like on my Minimet Guardian. But you know, there's the unique helm that has like -10 and then it gives flat damage to your like nearby allies. That would be the ideal, but it's pretty damn rare. And I think it only drops from like from the bosses in Delve. But I might actually just do a helm like this for my Guardian. -9 fire resist to enemies is way better than Leercast 15% damage. It's actually crazy, I didn't think about this before. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't be using all of these to craft my maps, but well, I've been doing that a bit. And speaking of crafting maps, there's like, for example, the more chaos modifiers with no lightning modifiers. This is actually kind of interesting way of crafting maps, because if you want to alch a map, right, it's always 4 to 6 mods, usually 4 or 5, and with these you can guarantee one of the mod, well, guarantee, like it's just very likely to be with this one specific one. You can, it's either the chaos resist plus elemental resist or the desecrated ground roll. Right, for here I didn't have anything of it. Feels bad, man, with the examples. Come on, game, don't do this to me right now. See there, chaos resist, elemental resist. Chaos resist, elemental resist. So that's a way to guarantee a mod that doesn't kill you. And there's desecrated ground, right? So that's a way of brute forcing a map mod in high tier maps that isn't extremely dangerous, right? So that's kind of interesting thing about some of these mods that you might want to keep in mind. I vault a Mall Temple, which is actually pretty easy. It's literally just 1 damage mod. I will do this at some point. I don't know with what character, but this is easy enough that I will 100% do it at some point soon. What else? There was something else I was supposed to talk about. Oh yeah, the strongholds. Stuff what I mentioned earlier, like in the previous video. I saw some of the comments, and you think it's gonna be like, you know, how to min-max, and there's gonna be like some crazy with them. It's just more likely gonna be like just like a PSA video of how it actually works, my thoughts about it, and you know, I'm just waiting for a couple confirmation from devs before I make it. But it's not gonna be like, you know, do this and you can abuse the fuck out of the system, kind of like the Elder Loop back in the day. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it. Ooh, my Empower is getting a bit closer to level 3 already. I have no idea where I'm gonna use it, but you know, hopefully I find a use for it. Oh, the TV cards. I was supposed to show you that. So I found 1 King's Heart yesterday when I was farming. I found 2 previously, one from I think Delve and one from a Putric Cloister from like a Sana mission or something like that. I completed 2 extra Eye of the Dragons. Let's see if I can actually do one here right now. For you, YouTube lurkers. And we got absolutely nothing. Okay. These are the, well, now I've completed 4 of them. I think I average like a card per map. Sometimes I don't find a single one in 4 maps, and sometimes I find 4 cards in a map. So yeah, that's, it's definitely common enough to farm in a long term. And whenever I have some wall orbs to spare, which is usually after I do delves, I tend to wall my volcanoes because they can turn into a sulfurments like this one here, and they're gonna go on 90 for some extra quantity, etc. I'm actually using sextants here whenever I have influence. Like if I get Shaper or Elder influence, I slap them with some sextants, usually like on both of these, so 2 sextants. And it's really nice returns. Yeah. Expect this stack to go up a lot. Maybe I'll go all the way to the 5,000 for the memes, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.